how the market is in Dallas, Texas. Like, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So you are now on part 3 of my life update. Okay, so if you have not already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, all that. Do it right now. Okay, so all right, let's get into part 3. All right, so I told you in part 2 how school didn't work out. I was like, I'm gonna go to school next year in 2022, and then I also landed the apartment photography job as well as shooting for Airbnb and whatever other brands that come my way through Snapwire. So if you have not already watched that video, make sure you go and watch part 2. All right, so we are in month April now. We're actually in April. So the beginning of April, like I told you, I found out couldn't go to school right then, shooting photography. And once I found out about not being able to go to school, I was like, okay, like what do I do now? Because shooting shooting photography was my backup plan while I was in school. It was my thing that was going to make me money while I was in school. It was never something that I thought I would be doing, full time or anything like that. It was just like, okay, do this while you're in school, make money. All right. So it was a particular weekend. I think it was like April 4th, April 3rd, somewhere around there. Right after I had found out about school, and I was like, wonder how the market is in Dallas, Texas. Like, there's way more apartments. There's a ton of apartments, actually. You've always wanted to shoot there. You've always wanted to move to Dallas, Texas. Maybe you should ask your manager about what the market is like, if you were to be in Dallas, Texas. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna ask her on Monday and see what she says. In my mind, I'm like, okay, this is a could be, but in all reality, I was like, she's gonna be like, yeah, we already got enough photographers there, or something, or the market isn't as big as you think. So Monday rolls around, and I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna ask her today, about this. So I called her, and literally, this lady picks up on the first ring. Mind you, she never like really responds back quickly to emails and stuff like that. So I was like, she's not gonna pick up. She picks up on the first ring, and I was like, hey, such, I want to talk to you about, you know, how it would be if I moved to a different market, specifically the Dallas, Texas market. And I also asked her about the Charlotte market because I knew Charlotte is a little bit bigger than Raleigh. And she was like, I told her because I was trying to get at least 4 to 5 shoots a week instead of like 2 to 3, so that would have me shooting literally every day for 5 days out of the week. So she was like, Dallas is our biggest market out of all the cities and states we have. Mind you, they're in California, they're in uh, Chicago, everywhere. She was like, Dallas is our biggest market. And she was like, compared to Charlotte, like Charlotte, you would still only get like 2 to 3 a week. But Dallas, you would get 5 a week, if not 6, because you have Fort Worth. And I was like, what? And I was like, would it be possible, like, for me to go to Dallas? Like, and she was like, yeah. She was like, that's an easy move. She was like, we only have one photographer there now, and it would be great because I could split those jobs between both of you. So both of you would be getting like 5 or 6 a week. And then if you want to take on Fort Worth as well, which is about 30 minutes away, about 35 minutes away from Dallas, give or take traffic or whatever. And I was like, did this lady just really say what I think she said? Like, me, shooting apartments in Dallas, somewhere where I have always, since 2017, wanted to be, and to be able to have way more money than I have here in Raleigh. So it's like you either gonna walk through this door or you not. Like you either want to go to the next level or you don't. And she was like, yeah, just let me know, 2 weeks before, like if you want to make that move, and I'll just add you to the market and start sending you jobs. And I was like, that easy. So I was like, okay, well, let me think about it, and I'll get back to you and I'll let you know. So like I get off the phone, I'm like just in pure shock because I'm like, I know this lady did not say what I just think she said or heard her say. Okay, so the door is wide open. The ball is in my court now to go to Dallas, Texas to do something I love doing, which is, like I said, shooting apartments. Okay, so then I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, the doubts start getting in my head. Like, okay, I need another car. Like my car is good, but to be able to drive to Dallas, Texas, and to get there with the mileage that I have on my current car, I didn't want to do that. So I was like, okay, God, like if you want me to get there, I need another car. Literally that same day, I applied for a car loan to get another car. God blew my mind, opened the door right up for me to get another car. So right now I'm in the process of selling my car to be able to, go forth on that, car loan or whatever. So I'm like, God just like opening the door after door after door, just in the same day. So we are on April 5th. This all happened on April 5th. Literally got told I could go to Dallas, Texas, shoot apartments 5 to 6 days a week. Got approved for a car loan. Thanks for all of my parents' help and support, boyfriend. Thank you for everybody that supported me on this day. Shala, everybody. So I was like, okay, like I'm walking through this door because I'm ready to get on my feet fully. I've been wanting to get to Texas, but I had honestly, since 2017, when God told me that I was going to Texas, I believed it at that moment. But as years kind of went on since 2017, I started to put it on the back burner. I started to feel like I heard God wrong. I was like, it's never going to come to fruition because I went down there in 2019. If you haven't seen that video, where I went for a job interview and I didn't get it. And it was in logistics where I had the most experience ever in my life. And to not get it and to go all the way out there was like, okay, God, like, did I hear you wrong? Like, why didn't I get it? I don't understand, and continue to apply for jobs and not getting them, and just feeling like, God, like, do I not know how to hear you? But everything works in His time. His word does not come back void. I'm learning that, and I'm learning that now because He spoke this to me in 2017. It is now 2021. And I still have faith to some extent that this was possible, that this is where I'm supposed to be. He had even spoke to my mom, telling her that when it's time for me to go, like, I'm not going to have time to take anything. I'm going to have to go. I even got, prophesied over a few years back saying that I need to get to Dallas. And when I do, my family or friends may not all agree, but they're going to be happy that I went, So I had already heard those things, and I was like, maybe they even heard God wrong, So there was a lot of doubt there when it didn't happen. But in the Bible, like, if you think about it, a lot of people God did things for. They had to wait years and years for things to happen. So you had to have that faith or whatever. And deep down inside, I did still have that faith, but on the surface, it was like, okay, it's never going to happen for me. But, okay, so I got the job opportunity, got approved to get a new car. Now it's like, okay, now I need a place to stay, and so I started looking at apartments. I had already done apartment tours in Dallas already. The 2 times I had already been because, like I said, I love apartments. And I thought I was moving there. So I kind of already knew the area that I wanted to stay in. So finding an apartment and not going down there beforehand was something that wasn't hard for me. So I was like, okay, like, I'm thinking I'm gonna move in May. You know, May is April now. May, okay. In my spirit, that's what I was thinking. But God was like, give yourself a little bit of time. Give yourself a little bit of time. So as I was looking for apartments, I finally came on an apartment that I love. It was in an area that I would love to be in. It's a studio apartment, so it's doing something totally different than I ever done. I've lived in a studio before, but it had like a wall. So this is like a complete real life studio. But it had everything else that I wanted. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply. Applied, and the process took like a week long. Like, I have never in my life been through an apartment process that took that long, and it felt like it wasn't gonna happen. It felt like it just was gonna be like a roadblock for me, and I was gonna have to look for something else. But God came through for your girl again. He blessed me with the apartment, and I moved July 17th, and he gave me 6 weeks free on the apartment. So, like, God has laid everything out this time, and all the doors are open. Not to say that everything is going to be peachy cream and easy, because I'm definitely nervous to move. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm scared, all the feelings. You know, I'm scared to leave my family, my friends, my boyfriend, which my boyfriend, he is coming, but not at the same time that I'm going. He's going to come like a few months or a month after me, you know, once he gets a job and stuff there and his lease is up. Um, but just to leave everybody here and be 18 hours away, like, every time I think about it, you know, I kind of get sad a little bit, but I know God has a plan for me. I know He wants to elevate me, He wants to strengthen me mentally, you know, all that good stuff spiritually. And I'm going with Him. And some may not understand, you know, but when you walk with God, a lot of people don't understand, and that's okay, because they didn't understand God, you know, like. But when you follow Him, you're making like the right choice. So, I've been connecting with people, and some of you might be watching. Cannot wait to meet y'all. But I have been connecting with people in Texas, spiritually like-minded um, girls that I cannot wait to meet and grow with, and cannot wait for my own friends that are here to visit, you know, and us have a good time, but and my family as well. But yeah, your girl is moving to Dallas, Texas. Like, y'all, I still can't believe it. I don't even know if I'm gonna believe it like when I get there. So the plan is me and Handy are gonna drive down all the way to Texas. And he's gonna fly back or whatever. And generally, you know, I'm an interior type of person. Like, I love my decor. Like, I would have been wanting to take a million things that I already have at my parents' house, but this time around I can't, you know. So I'm gonna have to sell some things or get some things away, and then when I get there, you know, I'll be able to get more stuff as time goes on, like home decor. I'll get my furniture while I'm there as well, but I'm gonna just put everything that I can in my car and ship some boxes, and we're gonna go from there. But yeah, like I said, I'll be doing apartment photography out there in Dallas and Fort Worth, as well as I'll still be doing Airbnb. So the good thing about Snapwire jobs, most of them, including Airbnb, is you can move it wherever, because there's Airbnbs all over. So when I move to the Dallas market, I'll be doing Airbnb in the Dallas area, Fort Worth area. Um, I'll still be doing teaching in the mornings as well. I'll have to give up my food delivery job, which is okay because I'll be taking on more work anyway. But yeah, so you'll be seeing that journey. I'll probably be showing some leading up to me leaving, and, you know, hanging with friends and family and getting things prepared. But yeah, so that is my little update, a big update on what's been happening in my life. And like, when I say you might have your own plans, you can plan all you want. But God, He will come and wreck all those plans if it's not in His will. me going to school this year and doing all that stuff was not in his will for me this year anyway. I don't know about next year. But right now, I'm following God. He opened up this door, or many doors, so quickly. And I'm walking through that door with him, like I said, I have my own plans laid out, but I'm following him. Photography is something that has really picked up for me just in the last month, to be able to work with all these different brands so quickly. So I can't even imagine like what's going to happen in a year, as I keep putting myself out there, keep putting myself, out there as a beginner in some things, like some of these things I haven't done, and God is honoring that I'm walking on faith, moving on faith, and just putting myself out there with him. I seek him every day. Oh, and while this was going on, like during Lent, I actually got off social media for some time. Excuse me. I would pop back on there from time to time or whatever, but like 90% of the time I was off social media, me and Handy both. And we took communion for 50 days. 50 days straight we took communion, which was, I feel like it was powerful. At the beginning, like I told my mom, I was like, I don't think anything's happening with taking communion. And she was like, what's stuff happening? And I didn't even know all the things that were happening. So by the end of this communion, like all this stuff came about, new job, new even elevation of that job, new place, all these things, and I would pray, take my communion every morning. My mom said it's the best thing to do. The best thing to do is have it as your first meal. So we would have it before breakfast if we could remember. I mean, some days we would slip up and it would be like later in that day, but hey, God still honors that. But I believe that by us taking that communion, he really did some things. But it's not, the walk in the faith is not over here. It only elevates from here. So that's where I am. I know God wants me to get in my word deeper and, really be in tune with him and what he's doing. I've been reading the book of Luke and how how Jesus started, and how he, started his ministry in his early 30s and all that stuff. So I've been reading that. I just wanted to update you all on what's been going on in my life. I know it's been a lot. That's why I said I had to break this up in 3 parts, because a lot has happened in the last 4 months. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you next time. Bye.